Hey, Andy Hall from the Infamous Stringdusters. I play Dobro in the band, and we're an acoustic band, but we have some gear that we use to kind of help get our show across, so that's kind of what we're doing here. We're going to go through some of our gear that we use, maybe a little bit about the production, but yeah, we're a 5-piece acoustic band, so we got banjo, dobro, fiddle, bass, and guitar, no drums. So in a lot of ways the stage stays kind of sparse, which we like. We move around a lot during our show. So yeah, I plug my dobro. Well, first I go into this Fishman Aura, which is like an imaging device. So the pickup I use on its own doesn't sound amazing. I mean, it's workable, but through this it sounds fantastic. So you can switch between basically different microphones. So it sounds much more acoustic once you run it through this. From here, I go into this tube EQ. It's an EQ, but a lot of what I use it for is just the sound of the tubes. So sometimes the dobro can be a little bit metallic-y sounding. Through the tubes, it kind of warms it up a good bit. So this is like the tone section. This, you know, it's funny. I don't use it as much for EQ. I just try and get it flat so that it sounds pretty much like it does here, going through here, but just gives it that warmth of the tube. So, you know, we've got, you know, where we go. The bass is, you know, we have that turned down a good bit just for mix reasons. We don't want too much bass. Band pass gain, I gotta be honest with you, I have my engineer set a lot of this because he set it so that it was like kind of a blank slate, but just we would get the sound of the tubes. That's really all I use it for. For real EQ, I use this Grace. So the Grace Alex is like, that's my like preamp where I have boost for my solos, I mute, and I run all my effects through the effects loop on this. So, but it has a really high quality EQ, and this is like the hub, really. So again, boost, which I use quite a bit for solos and whatnot, and then all the effects run through the effects loop. As far as effects go, I use these Strymon boxes, which are awesome. These sound amazing. I mean, it's digital, so you can program things, you can go through different pages by hitting these two buttons, but this is the delay, basically. Tons of different delays. You can set every kind of parameter you could possibly imagine. I mostly I have two main ones that I use in Bank Zero, but I can go up and get some different sounds. The cool thing about these is if I have a delay on and I press and hold, it sustains the delay, and so I can make this huge pad sound. So even though we're an acoustic band, we use effects quite a bit to sort of fill out the sound and give variety. This is my Mobius, this is like a filter. You get you know, chorus, flange, that sort of thing, tremolo, and I have a great kind of chorus effect that I use quite a bit. Here I have like a swell. So this is kind of more effecty sounding. This is more like delays. This is like really to change the tone quite a bit. I have this envelope filter, kind of auto wah, which sounds amazing. I use on some funky tunes. And then an RC booster, which is like distortion, essentially, which I don't use all that much, but occasionally I'll click that on. The two Strymon ones are the ones I use most for effects. Delay and like kind of like a phaser that I love for rhythm and sometimes lead. Tuner, and that's about it. I go wirelessly too, so like I don't have cables that I'm hooked up to, so I'll use my pickup and a clip-on microphone. Both signals go to front of house and to monitors, and that way I'm free. I can move around the stage. I don't have a cable, and you know, that's a big part of our show is being able to move around. So we're all wireless, which is kind of another cool thing. One other just cool kind of thing of note that we use are these like OptiGates. So the microphone, if you're back here, is off, and as soon as you step near it, this little red light comes on and the mic activates, so that when I'm away from the mic, I don't have all this ambient sound coming into the mic, into my in-ears. It's a much tighter sound, and then when I go up to sing, boom, it turns on, and I can sing, and then when I'm off of it, it turns off. So it's kind of a nice little bit there. So that's pretty much my setup here. So this is me. I play the dobro. which is this right here. It's a Beard, Paul Beard made, and this instrument has some cool, unique things about it, aside from the fact that it's a Dobro and you play it on your lap, which is kind of unique in and of itself. I have this hip shot, which I love. The strings are new, so it's probably going to be a little out of tune. But the cool thing about this is I can use 2 tunings, so I play in D. And then when I flip this, I'm in G. So I've got 2 tunings right here, sort of at my fingertips. Here's some of our wireless stuff. Some of it's charging, but this is my wireless DI. So this is for the pickup. So I plug that in, and that goes to my pedal board. I also have a wireless mic that I clip on, and that goes right about here. And so I've just got that mic right in there. This hooks on here, and this provides sort of a little bit of acoustic sound, and I do quite a bit of rhythm stuff. We don't have a mandolin player in the band, so I do quite a bit of chopping, and this really helps pick up some of that rhythmic stuff when I'm sort of doing backup and chopping. So I'll have this mic, I'll have the pickup, and then I also have a wireless ear pack, which are over here. So I have 3 packs. So you have the in-ear pack for monitoring, a DI pack, and then a mic pack. So 3 packs. So it's quite a bit, but then we're wireless. We can move around. We can visit each other on the other side of the stage, jam together. So the gear kind of allows us to be mobile. We're using Shure gear for all of our wireless stuff. So we've got the Shure wireless DI pack. We've got a Shure wireless mic, which is not sure which model that is, but we use Shure stuff for all of this. And then for these are Sennheiser, so we use the Sennheiser in-ear monitor packs, which sound great. So yeah. So the strings are, I mean, they're essentially guitar strings, but they're heavier gauge for sure than you would put on like an acoustic guitar. Like the high string is a 16 on a guitar, medium gauge it might be 12 or 13. So you have 16, 18, 28, 36, 46, 56. So they're heavy strings, but you don't actually push the string all the way down to the fretboard. You just guide the slide along the top of the strings. So they can be heavy, and it makes for a lot of sustain. Plus with the metal picks, you need a heavy gauge string, and then you can really dig in and get a nice big fat sound. So this is made by a guy named Bobby Poff. It's called Poff Maker, and he hand tooled this whole strap. He asked me what I liked. Obviously I have tattoos, so I told him a dragon strap would be amazing. So he hand tooled this whole thing. I've had this for maybe 12 years, and I just love this thing. It's amazing. He did amazing work. Hand tooled the whole thing, hand painted it. So yeah, this dragon strap is pretty sweet. Little gaudy, but pretty fun. So yeah, this Beard Dobro is kind of a custom thing. It has a cone here. That's what gives it its sound. Underneath this is almost like a speaker cone, but it's just acoustic. It's mechanical. It's not like an electric speaker. The strings vibrate and it vibrates the cone. This has another one right here which resonates sympathetically. You can see it. So Paul Beard had sort of developed this idea, and I think I was the first one that he decided to try it with. I liked it. It added a little bit of brilliance and sustain. And so, yeah, this thing is mahogany. The mahogany sound I like. It's just a little less bright, kind of a little more sort of even, sort of simple tone, which I like in the context of our band, because our band has a pretty dense sound, and this is just a very simple but beautiful tone. And I went with Beard because Paul not only makes amazing handmade Dobros, but he's very active as a builder, and he's willing to try new things. He's a great guy. I can always call him, I can riff with him about new ideas, and he's just a really fun guy to work with. But yeah, he and his team all hand make these in Maryland. There's a lot of other builders out there, but you know, Dobro is a small kind of niche thing, so it's not like it's not like Fender or something where they're mass producing these things. You know, these are all pretty handmade. You know, all the nice ones, and so but Beard is what I've been using for about the last probably 4 years, I guess. So yeah, Infamous Stringdusters, we're on tour quite a bit. You can find out about our tour dates at thestringdusters.com. We have a new record coming out, April 5th, our new record, Rise Sun, is coming out. We're super stoked about that, 13 new original songs. Check out our YouTube channel. We've been doing these YouTube vlogs, which are really cool, kind of a behind the scenes about life on the road. So check us out on YouTube, Instagram, thestringdusters.com. New record, Rise Sun, April 5th.